Hey, what's going on, fam jam? Thank you so much for joining me again. Today is Tuesdays, and well, Tuesdays are for tech. Today we're going to be looking at Universal Audio's Apollo Twin audio interface. This thing is a fantastic piece of hardware, so we're going to dig into it a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about what Universal Audio is, a bit of the company history, and why they're really cool is one way to put it. Okay, so Universal Audio is synonymous with innovative recording products. They are pioneers of the industry. In 1958, it was founded by Bill Putnam Sr. He is regarded as the father of modern recording. He is a favored engineer of artists like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole, and Ray Charles. He invented the modern recording console, the multi-band EQ, the vocal booth. He was the first to use artificial reverb, which is kind of an echo thing in a commercial recording, which is pretty cool. UA produced a lot of legendary gear. The LA2A and the 1176, they're called limiting amplifiers or compressors. You're going to find one or both of these in pretty much every single studio around the world. Either one of these or a clone. They made the 610 tube recording console. This thing was used from everybody from Frank Sinatra to the Beach Boys all the way up to Van Halen. It's an incredible piece of hardware. So in 1999 they were refounded and they began to reproduce classic analog hardware and they continued to pioneer the field with Universal Audio Digital. So they began to turn their analog hardware and recreating it digitally with pristine detail. That's kind of the company in a nutshell. Let's talk a little bit about what an interface is. We take analog audio, which looks like this, and we turn it into digital audio, which looks like this. And this is due to sample rates and things like that. What the interface does is it is an analog to digital converter, so it does that, and as well it converts digital back to analog. Pretty simple. What is also really cool about this particular one is it has built-in external DSP, which is digital signal processor. And so what's great about this is that that's built into the unit, and so valuable computer resources are not being used at processing audio. It's all being done through that little box, which decreases latency, increases quality, as well as the number of tracks that you can do, and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really cool. This is very unique to this piece of hardware, and especially their brand of plugins are, again, some of the best that you can get. That's kind of a basic, so why don't we get into the device itself? Okay, so here it is. It is in a very nice box. I'm just gonna say that. Like it's robust. It's nice graphics on it. They put some money into the packaging, you can definitely tell. So let's talk about a few of the features. So you've got inputs, outputs, all that kind of lovely stuff. You know, you've got all the different explanations on the bottom. Like it's a really, really nice box. You can be able to kind of look at the thing from the outside of the box. So let's get into this. Okay, so there it is. Beautiful, beautiful piece of hardware. So inside is a bit of a card, and then you're getting started. USB 3 cable and your power supply. I like to write on all my power supplies what they belong to. So in the power supply comes all your adapter plugs for whatever region in the world you happen to be in. I'm in North America, so we'll plug that one in. So it just snaps in. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so first impressions, it's a fairly hefty device. All of the connections seem really quite solid. The knob is really responsive. It's also a button. All the buttons seem very... It's a nice design. It looks nice. It sits really nice on your desk. It's got a fair bit of weight, so plugging things in and out of it doesn't usually move it around. So let's just look at the inputs and the outputs on it. So on the front, we have a high Z input for, guitars and bass and things like that, so you can plug them directly into this unit. And then there's also a headphone amp to, listen. So on the back, go this way. On the back, we've got our two combo XLR 1/4 inch jacks. So you can do an XLR or a 1/4 inch in these for mic or line level signals. And then we have monitor left and right out, as well as line left and right out. So that's 2 ins, 4 outs, plus your headphone outs is 6 outs, so that's a 2x6. Your USB 3 connection, your 12 volt power supply connection, your optical in, which gives you an additional 8 channels of digital audio if you have a converter. While I was using this, I actually plugged my computer in through the optical channel and was able to record computer separate from the microphones, which was part of how I produced some of my older shows. Yeah, one thing I really like about it too is the power supply has these little wings on it. That's probably terribly out of focus. But it has these little wings on it, and so this plugs in and then twists to lock. So you're not going to be accidentally pulling it out. One thing I don't like so much about it is that the cord itself tends to just twist it, and I find that it unlocks itself all the time, so you have to be kind of careful with that. Other hardware designs that I've seen is even just like a simple metal tab that you can loop this around. I would probably do that in addition to the lock, because I do like the lock feature, but again, the cord sometimes will just twist the connection itself. So that's that. Let's turn it on. So we get a nice, lovely light show there. And so then all of your options turn on. You can see what all the buttons start to do and things like that. Okay, so first we've got our preamp button, which changes the control to which channel. And you can change your input there as well from mic and line. You can also link the two so that whatever you do to one is the same for the other, which you do for stereo signals. So then on mic, you've got access to a high-pass filter, phantom power at plus 48 volts, a pad, phase reverse, and then again your link. And then on the other side you have your monitor section. So you push the monitor. So monitor gives you the monitor output, which then you get volume control here, or push it again and you get the headphone output, and again volume control. And as you can tell, they're separate, which is really, really cool. So that's really a rundown of this thing. One design consideration is it is a little bit clunky sometimes with just one single knob. I didn't know it did that. Anyways, I can sometimes be changing the gain on something else because I just reach over to change it without realizing I'm on the wrong setting. That's kind of the one thing with the single knob, but to design a nice, compact, easy to use, intuitive device, they did this wonderfully. The single knob is just a thing that I don't like personally, but it's smooth. The click action is really great. Everything, it's just high quality. This thing just oozes high quality. Okay, so specs of this thing, let's talk about a little bit. So I said it before, it's a 2 input, 6 output USB 3 audio interface. It has up to 24-bit recording depth, which is awesome. CDs are at 16 bits, 24 bits just gives you more information, which leads to more accurate representations of the analog signal. And it goes up to 192 kilohertz sampling rate, which again is incredibly high, which is well above any standard that we need. That's like Blu-ray standard. So incredibly high recording quality. So you're able to capture analog sounds much closer to reality than if you were to use something that maybe only goes to 44.1K 16-bit. Other thing, it has real-time UAD processing, which I explained a little bit earlier. You've got inbox computer digital plugins, which are emulations of analog designs, and their power is all being drawn from this lovely device. So that takes that power away from your computer, which is amazing. And then you can also insert an extra 8-ins on the optical. Overall feel, this thing is just solid. It does its job tremendously well. The plugins are world class. They, in my opinion, are the best plugins that you can get for in-the-box digital mixing and mastering. Unparalleled. They're incredible. They're like 99.9% of the way to being analog. Analog will always be better though. Yesterday, if you missed it, I talked about the foundations of Myers-Briggs typing indicator. It's a really interesting show. I suggest you go check it out. Tomorrow, we've got Wildness Wednesdays. If you hated today's show, tomorrow will be better, I swear. I am very passionate about the things I'm going to talk about tomorrow. We got permaculture, naturalism, a couple other things. We're going to do a bit of a permaculture intro tomorrow. So please join me for tomorrow for Wildness Wednesdays. And next week, we're going to look at another piece of tech. Who knows? I don't know what it's going to be. We'll find out next week. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please subscribe, comment down below. I love it. Tell me what you think. And follow me on Twitter @DA Meyers. I love to talk to people over there as well. Very active. So just come on over. Have any questions, comments, whatever. You want to yell obscenities at me, you can do that too. I think I'm running out of things to say, so maybe I should just leave. So let's crank up some tunes. Get some Cybermage rocking in the house, and I'm just gonna dance on out of here.